Hey, everyone. Kristen Brown here with KristenBrown.org. I'm a relationship healing and self-worth recovery life coach, author, and mentor, and the host of the Sweet Empowerment podcast, Reclaiming Your Personal Power. In this particular video, I want to talk to you guys about minimizing, ignoring, or denying other people's bad behaviors. Many of you that watch this are recovering people pleasers. You are people who have given to the outside world and have not received much back. Your relationships are lopsided, and you're like, why am I always doing all these amazing things and being respectful and loving and kind and not getting those behaviors back to me? The reason is because the foundation that you are functioning on is feeling unworthy. You may not know this consciously, but when we have this level of unworthiness inside of us, we are actually afraid of speaking up because we might lose someone, or they might leave our lives, or they might not like us. And unconsciously, we believe the other people are our source of love. So we tend to minimize, ignore, or deny other people's crappy behavior because we're afraid to actually speak up for ourselves. Now, I am someone who has done this a lot. That is why I teach what I teach, because I am a former people pleaser. And I mean, I had it bad. And I had it under the guise of, well, I'm just nice, I'm just understanding, I'm just forgiving. And if this sounds like you, then I want you to buckle up, grab yourself a piece of paper, and take some notes. Now, anytime that I have a repeating theme happen in my life, this is usually a theme or a topic that keeps repeating, keeps showing up over the course of 4 or 5 days, where I'm like, okay, that's always my nudge from universe that it's something that I need to speak about. So in light of probably 3 or 4 coaching conversations this week, I have noticed a particular theme, and that is when somebody has done someone wrong, they are upset enough to want to talk about it. But when we start digging deeper into the mechanisms and the feelings and things that are going on with it, each person has wanted to deny or to minimize or say it's not that bad, or this is my brother, or this is my longtime friend, or this is my so-and-so, and it's really okay. So what they're essentially doing is denying, ignoring, and minimizing bad behavior, disrespect, dishonor that has come to them. Now, we are the stewards of our respect. We are the people that are in charge of showing up to our life and to our people to require respect. And if we are minimizing, denying, or ignoring what is happening to us, we are essentially telling ourselves we don't matter. Now, this is a mechanism that has come into place for many of us because when we were young, we weren't taught how to process pain. We were not taught how to process our hurt feelings in an empowered way. It could also be that our family of origin didn't teach us to love ourselves or to respect ourselves, or maybe we were being disrespected within our own home. Whatever the reason may be, that this mechanism came into place, that when somebody hurts us, of course, we recognize it because we're having a feeling around it. The brain processes that situation or behavior. We have an emotion around it, but it hurt so bad back in the day that most of the time our brain as a child that has not fully formed yet, and it has not been taught how to handle this, it's going to find a way not to feel this pain. And what happens is we deny it, we try to push it aside, we act like it's not that big of a deal. And that's when we really start to lose our self-worth, our self-respect, because we are not stepping in and respecting ourselves. Now, this is an innocent thing that happens. This is not something that we do, and that means that we're bad people or that we're weak. It's literally a child trying to process big emotions, and we just don't have the capacity to do it yet. But what happens is as time goes on and we get older and we grow, we get into this cyclical pattern of conditioned way of thinking and responding to other people's bad behavior. And we keep doing the same thing all throughout our lives. But the problem is that we are people pleasers. and we are disempowered, and we are not standing fully in our own power. And this behavior keeps happening. Why? Because the vibration, the energy, the frequency of where we are at is a vibrational match to those people's behavior. So as long as we are still in this vibration, we are still going to get the same behavior coming to us. At some point, we have to say to ourselves, this is not okay. I don't like this anymore, and I want to raise my vibration. So the very first step, and that's all I'm talking about in this video today, the very, very first step is to stop ignoring, denying, or minimizing somebody else's bad behavior. When something happens to us, it is important to know that the emotion you're feeling is a guidepost. It is just a sign telling you something is not right. Just like joy and happiness is telling you that something is right. When you are feeling frustration, sadness, anger, betrayed, hurt, pain, it is telling you that whatever this person did is not right. Now, I'm not talking about you being super sensitive and taking everything personally. I'm strictly talking about when somebody lied, cheated, stole, or betrayed. Now, oftentimes when it's a really, really, really big betrayal, okay, we can't help but recognize it and sit in it because the feelings are so overwhelming that for many of us, we can't deny that. But it's the little things that people do. And I could take 3 hours to list off to you guys these little tiny betrayals and lies and cheatings and stealings that people have done to me throughout my life. And I just shrugged it away. I was like, well, she's my friend, or she was drinking, or she's just this, or I made excuses as to why the friend did what they did. The problem with that is that was keeping me in the same vibration. I was continually getting the same type of behavior from other people because I had not yet changed my vibration to something different where I could attract something different. So when somebody does something that's crappy to you and you're like, yeah, I really didn't like this, and you're talking about it or you're thinking about it a lot, catch yourself if you are trying to make small of it. Okay. You don't have to make any decisions right now regarding what you're going to do with this behavior. The key to reclaiming our personal power is to sit in it and say, is this okay? Now, in the process of this, a lot of times this brain is in such an automatic mechanism that you might tell yourself that it is okay. At that point, I want you to stop and say, if this happened to, and think of somebody that you love so much and say, if this happened to that person, would this be okay? And I have found that 100% of the time, not 99.9, 100% of the time, the person has said, no, that is absolutely not okay. That if that happened to that person. And then I would say, okay, what would you tell that person if they were coming to you with this problem? And then they say, well, I would tell them this, this, and this. I said, okay, so why are you not doing that with you? And oftentimes they go right back into the minimizing it and downplaying it. I'm like, no, 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 no. All we're doing right now is recognizing the perpetration, if that's the right word. We're recognizing what this person has done. And when they sit in that, believe it or not, shocking as it may sound, I see a sense of peace coming over these people's faces. Why? Because all they're doing is sitting in it and saying, yeah, that's not okay. That's not okay. And guess what? The spirit, the soul recognizes your love of self. And it feels so damn good that yourself actually will find peace in that moment just from recognizing that this was not okay. You are now honoring and respecting yourself. It is vitally important on the path to reclaiming our personal power and to heal from our doormathood and our people-pleasing ish that has kept us stuck in dysfunctional relationship patterns. It is vitally important to honor self. Even if you're not prepared yet or have the strength yet or the willpower yet to make a decision or follow through with some type of hard set boundary with this person, you are at least recognizing inside. And at that point, your worthiness cup is being filled. And as your worthiness cup gets filled, you will start to organically respond to these type of situations in a different way. So backing up when we're disempowered and we're small and we're ignoring and we're minimizing, we're still getting the same behavior over and over again. And there's no way in holy heck that we're going to be able to stick up for ourselves because our energy and vibration is down here. But as we start to fill that cup, just from the mere fact of honoring ourselves, that was not okay. I know that was not okay. And I'm just going to sit there and give myself permission to know that that was not okay. You are starting to fill your cup. Then what do you do from there? And I said I was only going to talk about step one, which is honoring it. But here's a light note into step two. Step two is processing it at that point. Do I need to speak up? Do I want to speak up? How big of a deal is this? Has my trust been broken with this person? Do I see them even enough for this to even matter? Maybe it's just enough that I'm like, you just broke my trust. You just got a tick on your record, and now I know who you are. You see what I'm saying? When you can own it, own what you're not owning it as you did anything wrong. You are merely pulling it in and saying that was not okay. You are protecting yourself in that moment. This isn't about armor where you put up a wall. This is about saying, I noticed what you did. This is not okay. Then you get to decide how you're going to handle that thing. But at this point, I don't want you concerned with that. If you are someone that has the habit and the conditioned way of thinking of minimizing, ignoring, or denying other people's bad behavior, it is such a huge empowered first step to just recognize it and to know that it's not okay. You have just loved yourself in a way that you most likely have never loved yourself before. And this is how we start to break our dysfunctional relationship patterns. All right, you guys, I hope you got so much from this today. I super love being here with you. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell icon so you receive notifications when I upload new videos, and leave me a comment. You know I love your comments and I'll respond back to you. And also give me a thumbs up, like. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Mwah.